Hi friends, this is me Chirag Singh Dogra. This is the second lecture of our networking series. In this video, we are going to talk about again all this stuff that you can see in front of you, the types of transmission media and the networking devices. Let's get started. So first of all, let us talk about the transmission media. Media by which the signals are transferred from one device to another device. Is a medium using which the signals are transferred or the information is transferred. These transmission media are of two types. First of all, wired and wireless. And now we'll talk about both of these media in a single example. Let's say you have a Wi-Fi router in your house. This is your Wi-Fi router. I don't know whether your Wi-Fi router looks like this or not, but anyway, this is the Wi-Fi router and here is the mobile phone and here is your laptop. Now your Wi-Fi router is obviously going to emit Wi-Fi signals, and your phone is connected to this Wi-Fi, and your router is also having an Ethernet cable here, and Ethernet cable is connected to your laptop. So this type of media is obviously wired media, and this media is obviously wireless media. Now let's talk about the advantages and disadvantages. So wireless media is obviously going to be fast, right? It is going to be much more secure because it is comparatively a lot tougher to invade into a wired media as compared to a wireless media. Okay, and this is used for shorter distances. This is, by the way, disadvantage, used for shorter distance. Okay, now let's talk about the advantages and disadvantages of wireless media. So this is obviously less fast and bit less secure, but it can be used for large distances and it can also penetrate through walls. Now there are also types of wired media as well. I'm just going to tell you in brief and you can read it by yourself. So first type is twisted pair cables. Another type is coaxial cables. Third type is fiber optic cable. Okay, and among these cables, the fiber optic cable is the fastest. Right? These all cables are used for their different purposes, and you can read about them by your own. Right? This is your homework. Now, the types of this wireless media. The first type is radio waves. Radio waves, right? These can easily penetrate through the walls and building, right? Another type is microwaves, right? And the third type of wireless media is infrared, right? And you can also find this infrared in your living room because your TV remote has this infrared light in front of it, right? So if you'll use your smartphone camera, you'll be able to see the working of that infrared light. Let's talk about the networking devices. So the first device that we are going to talk about is the hubs. Right? Hubs are generally used to connect different networking devices together. Right? This sends network coming from one device to all the other devices that are connected to it. Right? So let's say this is hub and one device is connected to this way and other devices are connected to it this way. So if a signal comes inside the hub, it will send the signal to all the other devices that are connected to the hub, right? It does not discriminate. And by the way, this hub is operates on a physical level. Okay, okay. Now let's talk about the Ethernet hub. So Ethernet hub is also used similarly to the hub. It is used to connect various Ethernet devices together. So let's say there is one Ethernet device and there are several other Ethernet device, and this Ethernet hub is going to do the job of connecting these devices together. It will make them, it will make all the Ethernet devices connected to it to work like one device, right? Okay. Now let's talk about switches. What are switches? Switches are the linkage point of the Ethernet network, right? So it is the linkage point of Ethernet network, right? So let's say this is a cable coming into the switch, and this has other Ethernet cables going out from the switch. So if information comes and this information's destination is in this wire, let's say this wire, or the device connected to this wire is the destination of this information. So what will the switch do is it will send this information to only to the port connected to the destination device. It will not send it to other ports. How it is so? Because switches contain something called as the MAC address table. It basically remembers the MAC addresses of the devices connected to it, right? And if in case you don't know what a MAC address is, MAC address is just like the physical address, right? The address of a hardware, right? It is called as the MAC address. Okay. Now let's talk about bridges. So what is bridge? So let's take the analogy of a factory. Let's say a sugar factory, sugar mill dot co. There's a sugar mill, and there are a bunch of computers in the production department of sugarmill.co, right? And there are a bunch of computers in the, let's say, marketing department of sugarmill.co. Okay, so these two are LAN networks. These two LAN networks are connected together using the bridge, right? Bridge. So what bridge will do is bridge will make the small LAN networks connect together and work together as a complete LAN network, as a single unit. So this is the work of a bridge. Now let's talk about routers. Now as the name suggests, what is the job of router is? Router's job is to route packages, right? Route packets. So how router does it is the router simply processes the header of the packet, right, where the IP address or other routing information is placed, where it is written. So it will router processes the networking information in the header and it to its potential destination. Why I've written so? Why I've written potential? Because a router does not send it to its destination. Let's say it may or may not send it. Right. So let's say we have a computer here, and here it is connected to a router, right? And this router is connected to another network. Right? This is network, and this is say destination computer of this of the packet that we are getting. So let's say we are getting a packet, and this is a destination. So it will process the IP address of that packet and send it to the destination IP address. It will they basically route it to the destination, right? And if there was no destination, there was no such destination, then router would have routed it to the next router, or we can also say next hop, HOP, next hop, right? So router would have routed it to another router. There are also something called as the Brouters. Maybe I'm messing up the spelling. Let's talk about Brouters. I forgot to use blue pen, but anyways. So the Brouters are combination of bridges plus routers. Right? So it does the work of both bridges and routers in a network. Right? So again, if if we take the analogy of a factory, again an organization, right? So let's say these two are computer on a network on a single LAN, and there is a router in between, right? And there are other computers in the same organization, right? So this router will work as a bridge when it comes to making it work together like a single LAN network. And if there is some information, some piece of information that has to be transferred to a specific machine, then it can work as a router as well. So this was router. Let's talk about modems. What are modems, my friend? So modem literally means modulator and demodulator, right? So the job of modem is to modulate the signal, demodulate the signal. What I mean is, so let's say the signal is coming to your home via some cable, right? This is obviously an analog signal, some electrical signal. So the modem changes it to the digital signal. Its sole purpose is to change from analog to digital signal. And it can also, I'm bit suspicious about the spelling, it it is maybe vice versa. It can also change from analog signal to digital signal, or it can also convert from digital signal to analog signal. Obviously, when you have to send some information in the internet, you have to change the digital signal from your device, whatever your laptop or phone, to the analog signal that can further be transferred using the physical medium, right? Okay. And in the very last, we have our network cards, right? So what network card is used for? It is also called as, by the way, it is also called as NIC, means network interface device. It helps to connect any device to the internet. Basically, every device, if it is connected to the internet, it is going to have a NIC. Basically, it is a piece of hardware that helps to connect devices to the internet. That's all. Right. So this was it for today's lecture, guys. And if you really like the video or really like the lecture, if you are enjoying the series, then please consider subscribing and hitting like button. It really helps. And we'll see you in the next lecture. Good night.